Okay, so right now we're doing my show Ghosts of Fort Greene, um, episode one, the series premiere episode, from 2017, I believe. Um, I believe we started filming it, 2007. No, 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 no. We started filming in 2016, right? No, I don't remember when we started filming. Yeah, how about I check? Hold on. Well, let's see. When did this show come out? Okay. So we started filming in 2017, Ghost of Fort Greene, in New York City. My first full show in New York City. Um, yeah. All right. Let's watch this thing. See what I got to say. All right. Okay. Here we go. Whoa. I remember this. Filming in the snow in Brooklyn on an unexpected snow day. This was crazy. I remember this. I remember being out there. I remember shooting this scene, and I remember we couldn't get that many takes because it was so damn cold, and I was trying not to keep people in the cold, but for so long. I think we were going in and out. We had somewhere that we were going in and out, or the actors were going in and out of to stay warm. I remember shooting this scene on an empty street in Brooklyn. It was like a warehouse area. It was late at night, and that street was like completely empty. I really love this show. Really love this show. So I created this show, Ghost of Fort Greene. So I had an idea for a show. I really wanted to shoot a full show in New York City at that time. This was 2016 is probably when I started writing it. And my business partner at the time, his name was Gino. He came in as a co-writer and did some of the writing with me and produced with me for my company. This is a shot of the train. Shot this from an apartment, and from an apartment building window down to the subway is how I shot this shot. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. I'm sorry for the reaction I'm having. It's just that when I think about how much I've done sometimes, I can't believe it. And the places that I've been with my work, places you forget you've been, people you forget that you've come across. I remember shooting this scene this night. It was one of our first nights of filming. We were getting B-roll of the two main characters, Hop and Skip, played by an actor named Bryant. He played Hop, and an actor named Willam Perry. who played Skip, and Willam Perry. Actually, you may recognize him from
Yo, you
the
straight?
Best Man series on Peacock.
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah.
You sure? I be getting worried about you sometimes, man.
Yeah.
I'm good, man.
This was the good old days of this show.
Hey, man, I'm just,
You know,
just checking on
it
you.
seems like, in my
Yeah,
experience with
be
my
focused
series,
on
and
what's up.
possibly because, you know, these are micro
I told
budget
you,
projects, they're
spend some
independent
time.
projects, very little money,
I need you more than ever.
and
What's up?
I'm focused.
sometimes it takes a while to shoot them. It could take 6 months, it could take a year, it could take 2 years. So the early days are always the best days.
I mean, you
So
say
this
that
was the
now,
early
but it's
days
like,
when you have a lot of
up and down, I
excitement.
just gotta,
For the project, you have a lot of excitement for what you're
I
doing,
never know what can happen.
but the excitement doesn't last.
Can I trust you?
It doesn't last. It never
Yes.
lasts.
Yeah, you can trust me.
So anyway,
Right.
not to get too introspective on y'all too soon.
Crazy.
So yeah, these guys are, you know, they make money by pickpocketing, you know, in Brooklyn, in New York, and it's one of the ways that they make their money.
I always gotta think that.
You know, this show, if you haven't seen it, is basically about
Nigga, you got your
the
shit.
things that chase us. You know, we call those things ghosts. In the context of this show, Ghosts of Fort Greene, the ghosts are, you know, your vices, they're your fears,
If I'm focusing
they're
on
your
my shit,
insecurities,
I'm
they're
supposed
your baggage, your bad memories, the things you want to forget that you can't forget. So those are the ghosts, and so this show is about the ghosts that everybody has.
cards and shit.
Specifically these two friends, and they're trying to move their lives forward or figure out how to move their lives forward, despite the fact that they have all these things chasing them in their lives that they're trying to outrun.
Yo, Skip.
So
Come
that's
here,
the
man.
concept
Where
of
you
the
going?
show. There's E-Man, played by Juan Callado.
Oh, calm down, man. Jesus,
It was
Skip,
so
that's not a
cold
good look,
shooting
man.
this
Pampers
scene.
and smoking. Shit, baby mama got you that much drama? Shit, man. Jesus, Skip.
I love this shot.
You been up to, man? I ain't
Love
seen you
that
for a
shot
while.
too.
Been working, getting you some money, getting you some girls, huh?
I love Juan.
Come on,
Juan, he
Skip,
brought
talk
so
to me,
much
man.
color to this story.
No,
Like
I
his
try.
character was
Skip, don't
was
be-
like part of the comic relief.
Hey, man, Hop, that's a different dude, man. He talks to me.
Here, great timing, great timing he had.
I don't like weird.
You know, Willam also great actor, really good at what he does.
Yo, that's my
Commits, is focused on set. The subway was like a second home for us on this show. We were always shooting scenes on the subway or hopping on the subway to, you know, go to the next stop or, you know. Make that shit stretch.
I got this one. Apple got this Apple Watch and shit. Let me take this one.
Take that.
She
Yo,
won't
this
know.
nigga broke as shit. What the fuck
Ain't
is
no
this?
fucking money up in there.
Yo, these niggas wild. Cool, yo. We gotta break out.
You good? Yeah. I'll let you, bro.
It's crazy, man. So we had like almost wrapped the episode, but we had some extra scenes to shoot that made up like what ended up being the snow footage that you see. So we had shot most of the episode, and then we came back like maybe a month later to shoot some additional footage for episode 1. And it turns out, I guess, that maybe I was the one who didn't catch the forecast to know that. And I drove into New York from Atlanta, and the rest of the actors were all based in New York. And as soon as I got there, the city got hit with this big snowstorm. And so I had to kind of like unexpectedly decide if I was going to cancel the shoot, even though I had just drove like 13 hours or whatever for us to shoot, and everybody was ready to go. But I was like, how are we going to do this? It's snowing everywhere, snow all over the place. And so ultimately we decided to keep the shoot, and so we probably were under a deadline, and everybody braved the extreme cold and the snow to knock out all these snow scenes, which I thought were gonna mess up the episode. I thought it wasn't gonna cut together with the previous stuff we had shot when it wasn't snowing, but it worked. It worked really well. So it's just one of those unexpected things that, as a producer, as a filmmaker, you learn to adjust to. You learn, as a filmmaker, you learn, or you should learn very quickly, how to adapt to changing circumstances. And you can't do this if you can't adapt, because nothing ever really generally goes the way you want. At least in my experience, hardly anything actually goes exactly the way you plan it. So you have to get comfortable with something working out well in additional ways, and sometimes it can work out even better in a way that you didn't even anticipate, or that you didn't think you wanted. And so learning to think on your feet is definitely what makes you a great filmmaker. Being able to adapt to all kinds of circumstances, to meet people's needs and their changing needs. You know what I mean? People can switch up on you on a dime, and you got to be able to adapt to that. So it is a very hard job. It's a very hard job. Not many people can be a filmmaker and be a director and run their own film production. It's not hard, not easy. It's not easy. I make it look easy sometimes.
Oh, no, she needs diapers. You gotta go now.
Tracy Ramirez.
Come on.
She's a good actress. She brought a lot of life to the show.
It was like hours. Yeah, I am too, but she needs some diapers. It's only like 1 month. No.
I don't remember shooting this
I'll give
scene.
you money.
I vaguely remember shooting this scene. Vaguely. I remember I had a lot of actors coming in and out that night. It was kind of a busy night. A lot of different call times that night.
Nah, fuck all that shit. Where I see you look over that fucking money in your pockets.
There's that snow. Man, it was so cold. Y'all just have... If you live in New York, you know. It was cold and a bit out there. Anthony Goss. Alicia Brayboy playing Detective Naveed Williams and Detective Sabrina Lawrence. And actually, I am currently writing a brand new show. It's a spinoff of this show, Ghosts of Fort Greene. It's and Anthony Goss playing Naveed right there on your screen. He is the star, and it's a show that follows his character traveling as a private detective to different countries. And it's a mystery detective series, and it's the bomb. It's really good. It's really, really good. I can't wait till we start shooting it. It's called Detective Naveed. New series coming soon. And I said I was done with series. But if you get Anthony Goss to start, you'll do a series too. He's amazing. The sunflower seeds.
These again?
We added the sunflower seeds to his character.
I always talk about myself.
I remember shooting this scene.
They're actually really not good for you. All that salt.
This was from our first. This was like day one, I think, of shooting this scene right here. I think this was day one, the end of day one. And we shot this scene.
Quiet.
Oh, like. God,
Yeah,
man
this was
drama.
their very first scene of the show.
I know.
Wow.
I know. X drama, I should say. Don't leave it alone.
And the cool thing, one of the cool things about shooting in New York, which is my favorite city in the United States to shoot in, it's just New York is one of the most cinematic cities, in my opinion, in the world. And I really love shooting there. And one of the things that I like about it is that people generally leave you alone
Friday night, usually.
while you're shooting. They see a small production filming, they usually leave you alone and just go on about their business. It's just, it's what New Yorkers do. So the times that they did, stop and talk to us and whatnot, very supportive. I think at a certain point, some people, like certain blocks that we used to shoot on regularly with this show, I think people got used to seeing us, and they were very supportive of what we were, trying to do. So I just remember, New York's like a second home for me now because of this show.
I'm selfish.
I remember shooting this scene. This was like, that was during our the second leg of the first shoot.
Yo, I stay with him all the time.
We shot this late at night.
Going through what, Lene? Going through what? Nigga, I'm trying to get the fucking
Baby mama issues.
What about you? I'm trying to get some real bread. I'm trying
What the fuck
to,
we gonna do in Atlantic City?
man, anything, nigga. We could fucking hit a lick, something, nigga. What? Gamble, whatever.
Going to Atlantic City with you with your gambling ass, bro.
Man,
Like the dumbest thing I can do.
We could link up with Jose and them niggas. Them niggas over there getting mad, bread, nigga. We could fuck with them. Like, there's so much we could do out here, man. The possibility.
I like this shot.
But you just got, oh no. It's
Like the framing of it.
I don't want you to get lost in that dumb shit. At the end of the day, we need money.
At the end of the day, we need money. So we start to get start to see some of the characters' vices. So you see the Hop character. He's about to go into the gentleman's club, the strip club, and exotic dancing. That's one of his vices in the show. Some jump cuts for y'all. Yes. Oh yeah, the music. Lots of shots of the city. I always made sure that, usually it was funny because whenever we wrapped the shoot, because I drove in, to shoot the show every time. I would drive in for like 2 days or 3 days or 4 days, however many days we were going to shoot. And after we wrapped, I would hit the road like every time. I don't know what it was. It was just like
Look, I'm detecting the V with the
I
NYPD.
just I would hit the road like as soon as we wrapped, you know. But on my way out of the city, I would drive around the city and get B-roll first, B-roll footage of Brooklyn and like Manhattan and stuff. Every time before I left the city after every shoot. Those were crazy times, man. It's crazy times shooting this show. A lot of hard work, man. A lot of hard work. I learned a lot about, you know, as a filmmaker. It's like things that you learn along the way to just make things easier for yourself. Like it could be like the way you dress, making sure you're dressed comfortably. Like generally speaking, I wear sweats on set if I can, if it's not too hot. That's the most comfortable for me. You gotta be like, with this show right here, Ghosts of Fort Greene, we did a lot of walking, you know, like we did a lot of walking from one block to the next, or from, you know, to the train station or to our locations where we did a lot of walking. And so having good shoes, you know, this show is shot mostly on the streets of New York. So I learned a lot. I updated a lot about some of my norms and best practices for being on set, you know, from doing this show. This show demanded a lot of my energy to pull this off. And we shot this show for like 2 years. 2 years. So seven episodes. We did more than 7 episodes. We shot more footage, but we only released 7 episodes, and then we ran into the pandemic. And then after the pandemic, we tried to continue shooting the show, but it just wasn't the same. We had lost some of the vibe.
I'll show you when I get home. Where's my baby at? Alright, bet.
They did not like to do these walk-in shots. Like they did not like. I mean, they understood it once they saw the edit, but having them walk down these blocks and all this walking, the actors were not feeling that. They were not feeling that.
Yeah.
So it's not easy being an actor either, guys. It's not easy.
Speaking of which, what you do last night?
Yo, you need to snap out of this shit, man.
I like this shot, this scene right here. The scene of Hop fussing at Skip, who's having like some of his ghosts or mental health issues.
I don't know, I just worry about you sometimes.
Snap out of that shit, man. The fuck? I'm over here trying to help you get bread for your seed, your fucking family.
I'm good. I promise I'll be back. Why are you tripping? I gotta get something for the baby. It's a surprise.
I need a retwist.
I got you, okay? Hey. I love you.
Sound rumbling, windy.
Stay the door unlocked.
Oh man, it's making me miss shooting in New York, watching some of these shots, man. Because it's the third time shooting this show that we're just super peaceful. Third time shooting a show that was just super peaceful. And you really, it's very rare that you catch yourself having an enjoyable moment, because I feel like set is so technical that there's usually no time to like enjoy it. But there are times where, you know, you're behind the camera and you're watching the shot go off and you just think to yourself like, "There's nowhere else I'd rather be." As corny as that sounds, you know, but it can feel like that sometimes. And then when you get to put it all together and then see it all put together, especially so many years later. Like I said, we released this first episode in like 2017 apparently, and so it's probably been almost as many years since I've watched this episode all the way through. I think this actress's name was Alex. And she was, I liked her.
You got the room for a couple hours, right?
Yeah.
Sweet girl, easy to work with.
Just kind of hoping you'll stay.
And she is a prostitute. So that's another one of Skip's vices, one of his ghosts.
I'll stay.
Yo, we was out there for like 2 hours, man. Ain't shit out there. Came back with barely nothing. Yeah, I know.
I remember shooting this scene.
I've been trying to get this nigga to come with me for the longest. I'm coming out there. We both coming out there.
Okay, for this scene, Bryant, you're gonna act like you're taking a shit. And he got really into it. Look at that. That's all him wrapping the toilet paper. Oh shit.
Yeah, hello?
Oh, that's hilarious. Oh shit. Subway. Every time on the subway was always an adventure for us.
Fucking business.
I was just trying to help the situation
Fuck all
out.
that shit. Where I see you, look over that fucking money in your pockets.
Cusco Street, Gates Avenue next. Jamaica Laundry, thank you.
I remember shooting these shots. I sure do. David Clark playing Spoon. We had to do this a couple times to make sure they were in frame. Yeah, all this running and shit, they was not here for this. All that running cracks me up now. Look at this shot right here. This shot was cool. We had timed it. We were like, let's wait for the train to come across the top. And when y'all, I probably gave them a count. And then they were supposed to run around the corner while the train was passing above. So that was all planned. So Hop's character has some sexual predilection issues. fetishes.
Ordinary mom wants a real hard fucker.
Thought I heard you.
It's me.
I can see that.
The great Rhonda Swindell. I love Rhonda. I love working with her.
Tomorrow, man. I gotta buy Trace.
I can't wait to work with her again.
always
She also
tomorrow.
added so much.
Ain't it?
Like, I have to say,
Maybe it's
this
just a way
was
of thinking all
Ghosts of
over
Fort
again.
Greene was one of my favorite casts that I've ever
Drunk
had the
and
privilege to
tired.
work with. Like, they were such a great cast.
Hopper.
You know, our show deserved to be on HBO, you know, or FX or something, you know. It had some great talent, man.
You don't think I don't know what you be doing down in that basement?
I ain't never coming back here, so you don't
I
gotta
love
work.
this scene. This scene was like,
Oh, what, ma? What you gonna do?
this was the second leg. It was like,
Lock me out in the hallway with base heads?
it wasn't the
prostitutes
first
walking
leg,
all
it was
over
the
me?
second leg of filming.
Hit me like you used to? Or no, you gonna have me sitting up here listening to you suck and fuck whatever nigga can scrape together $5
Pow.
for the night.
That was a real slap too. That was a real slap. Even the editing style of this show wasn't originally planned. You know, editing, I edit all my own shows, and so I feel like editing is like another round of writing, because you get to, you know, you get to be creative in editing, you know. You know, play with the sequence, play with the structure of the episode. So, you know, this episode just set the tone for the style of the rest of the show. Yeah, I'm really proud of this episode. I remember getting this shot. I remember being behind the fence getting this shot. I probably was tired as hell. Me and my crew, tired as hell. Finally catches him. Gets away. Get you next time. Oh, hop, jerking off. It's crazy.
Yo, Skip, yo. I don't know what's up with you, man. Yo, you
I love
fucking weirdo. You know that?
his eyes
weirdo
in this
since
shot.
he was like teenagers, nigga.
You know, William, he just did such a great job.
I feel like you still worried about that fucking murder, nigga. That's what's bothering you?
Nigga, it was a fucking murder.
That shit happened last Christmas, nigga. Like, get over that shit, nigga. Life goes on,
What
right?
you gonna say get over a murder?
Niggas get murked all the time, man. Like, yo, we got bigger fish to
Did you
fry.
see it?
I ain't have to see it, man. All I'm saying is,
Ghosts of Fort Greene.
Awesome. White nigga flossing, Gatsby nigga looking like a
Yeah, that brought back a lot of memories. Brought back a lot of memories. Hmm. That was Ghosts of Fort Greene, series premiere episode from 2017. We started filming it in 2016, I believe, or maybe towards the top of 2017, and in New York City. And it's crazy. And I'm sorry to have like a visceral reaction, but it's like certain things just make me think. That show was real special to me. And I was really excited to come up with the concept and then to write it with, at the time, my business partner and my best friend. And, as an artist, you have such like high hopes for the things that you create and the things that you pour yourself into. And watching that episode actually makes me a little emotional, to be honest with you, because again, I haven't watched that episode in years, and it brings back a lot of memories of how much work was put into it, how many miles traveling back and forth to New York City to shoot it over the course of 2 years, and just kind of like the it's how much you get attached to the art, to the work that you're doing, and even the people that you're doing it with. There's a period of time on a project where it just feels magical. It feels like meant to be like, as a group of creatives, you guys were meant to come together at this point in time to do this work. Sometimes you wish the moment would last longer than it does. Sometimes you wish the synergy would last longer than it does. The heartbreaking part is that it usually never does. And that was definitely part of the story of this project. People start to because even no matter how much they say they love the project and how connected they feel to the project and to the work, it's hard to keep creative people's it's hard to keep their focus on one thing. It's hard to keep their hearts, still believing in one thing. And you try your best, but sometimes you still fail at it, But there's still a lot of lessons that you learn in the process. And I think that's what a lot of my experiences with my projects over the years is ultimately it's the lessons, the things that you collect along the way. They end up being the most important aspects of doing it, So even if things don't end the way you want, in the way you expected, in the way you need, it's best to focus on the things you collected, that are gonna serve you well moving forward. It doesn't mean you still don't grieve the loss of what you hoped it would be. And I know with this show, I had high hopes that, we could get like a TV network's attention. I definitely felt like it was worthy. but still a little naive back then, because the truth of the matter is that the TV networks, they're not looking for the talent that's in the streets. They're not looking for it at all. That's a hard lesson to learn. You're independent. You're producing these projects for the web. You're putting them somewhere on the web that everybody can find and come across, and hoping that the right person's going to come across your show and give you a call, and want to meet with you and say, hey, I saw your show. I want to work with you. We want to work with you. Our studio wants to work with you. Our network wants to work with you. And you're putting in all this work mainly for that reason. And that call never comes. And then when you do meet these executives, whenever you do, if you do, and you ask them, hey, they'll tell you, we were never looking where you were at. We were never looking, and it's like, why not? There's so much talent out here. Why are you not keeping your ears to the streets to see who's out there putting in the work, who's showing you that they're ready? Not everybody can just walk up and get a meeting at Paramount Studios. It's really hard. And, the people who can't, the people who have it's a wider shot to get to that, they do this. They try to find other ways to get visible. And when that still doesn't work, that's heartbreaking. And so I went through that countless times. No matter how many millions of views my work got online, nobody important, because they're not that important. But, nobody was even looking for the work that a lot of, these independent filmmakers were out there trying to create to get seen. These executives are not even looking this way. Their eyes are focused just on who makes it in front of them, all the hoops you have to jump through to get in front of them. They're not out there, using their downtime to go search around YouTube to see what's out there, who's making moves, who's doing some quality work. And I think that's trash. I think that's trash on their parts. And I think they don't deserve to be in those jobs. That's what I think. But I'll elaborate. You'll hear me talk about that topic a lot more on the Artist Temple. But I thank you for checking out this breakdown of Ghosts of Fort Greene. It's one of my most favorite projects that I've ever produced. I'm super proud of it. I'm thankful to all the talent that I got to work with on this show. And it's good. It's good. So until next time, this is Lazarus X for the Artist Temple.